Hey guys, so usually I don't mention who these letters are for, but this sender specifically asked me to say her name. So this letter is for Nadia. I hope it reaches you. Sometimes I wonder if it was ever right to call you my best friend. Perhaps I was the only one who saw it that way. We met during our schooling days. Life took us in different directions, and years later, we found our way back into each other's lives. Back then, I thought it was a blessing. Looking back now, it feels like one of the greatest curses of my life. If I'm being honest, there are days where I wished we have never reunited at all. Years have passed, yet I still carried the trauma you left behind. Every new friendship feels like a threat. Every act of kindness feels suspicious. Every person who comes close feels like someone who might eventually hurt me because of what happened. What started as genuine care and support for someone I cared deeply for as a friend became one of the deepest wounds I've ever carried. From the very beginning, our friendship felt one sided, yet I stayed. Maybe because I believed friendship was meant to be bigger than a person's flaws. Maybe because I wanted to believe that loyalty and support would eventually be enough. Your family became my family. Your children became the nieces and nephews I loved as though they were my own. For the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged somewhere. I felt like I had people I could call my own. And perhaps that is why I feel so deeply about friendships. They become your chosen family. People always say money can turn friends into enemies. I never believed it until you. More than $10,000 disappeared into empty promises. Money I would never see again. Money that, at that age, carried my dreams, my future, and the sacrifices I had made. But strangely, the money was never what broke me. I have never regretted helping you. Maybe God placed me in your life for a reason. What shattered me was realizing that after everything I had done, after every time I stood by your side, after every struggle I walked through with you, none of it seemed to matter. I wasn't just lending money, I was giving my trust, I was giving my loyalty, I was giving my support. And somewhere along the way, I realized there was never an I'm here for you too from your side. There was never a how are you coping? There was never the friendship I thought we shared. Without even realizing it, I started to lose myself. I carried the pressure of constantly proving my worth as a friend. The fear that if I didn't do enough, or give enough, or sacrifice enough, I would lose the people around me. Growing up, life already felt lonely and difficult. Losing people felt like the worst thing that could ever happen. Life moved on quickly for you, but I could not cope with the anger, the sadness, the grief, and the betrayal that followed. The pain consumed me so deeply that I became someone I did not recognize. I became toxic, not just to myself, but to the people around me. I was drowning in wounds I did not know how to heal, and in trying to survive them, I ended up hurting myself in ways I never imagined. Until one moment that became the final blow. The day your friend told me to end up my life, to jump down and die. She barely knew me. She never knew my struggles, my pain, or the person I genuinely was. Yet she felt entitled to tell me that my life was worth so little. Perhaps she believed she was being a good friend by speaking up for you. What hurt even more was that I never had anyone standing beside me to speak for my pain. And while those words came from her mouth, what broke me was seeing your silence. Those words never left me. Even today, they echo through my mind when I'm at my lowest. They became a cruel reminder of how little my life seemed to matter in that moment. That was the day I truly understood how cruel people can be. For a long time, I carried anger, I carried grief, I carried questions that would never be answered. But with time, I realized something else. My reaction to everything that happened came from a fear of abandonment that had lived inside me for years. And strangely enough, through all the pain you caused, you forced me to confront that part of myself. You forced me to become stronger. You forced me to learn how to stand on my own. Today, I am in a much better place. I'm doing the job I once dreamed of doing. I've met people who show up for me, people who choose me, people who remind me of how loved I am, people who care for me without making me earn their affection. And if I'm being honest, when our friendship finally fell apart, I felt something I never expected: relief. For years, I thought losing you would destroy me. Instead, I quietly realized it was the freedom I had been longing for: the freedom to stop proving myself, the freedom to stop carrying a friendship on my shoulders alone, the freedom to finally choose myself. Today, I'm happier than I have been in a very, very long time. I can finally breathe. But somewhere deep inside me, there's still a part of this story that haunts me, a part that still aches, a part that still struggles to understand why someone I cared for so deeply could leave behind so much pain. I have forgiven you, but forgiveness does not erase what happened. I have healed, but healing does not mean forgetting. The scars remain, the lessons remain, the trauma remains. And while I wish you no harm, I continue to carry the consequences of your actions every single day. You were once someone I called my best friend. Now, you are simply a chapter of my life that taught me how painful betrayal can be. A chapter I survived, but one I will never forget. Wow. I guess sometimes the one that would hurt you the most won't be your enemies.